So Gareth, we've spoken before about the importance of asking questions, and my experience of working in this industry for many years is that you can become quite successful at helping people ask questions. So you get them over that hump of, engaging the customer, and if you do a good job, you can get them to ask good quality open questions. So that's, really step one of the process. But one thing I've noticed is that it's quite challenging to get people to go beyond that. They're very, very comfortable with accepting the first answer and making some assumptions around that answer before they then go on to the next question. I'm really curious about curiosity, as you know. Tell me more about the value of going further with your questions.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and it's something I notice a lot. We tend to take, the first answer as at face value, and I think there's a real, there needs to be a real awareness that, as human beings, we all place different meanings on different words, different experiences, and different events. And your customer might say something, and you think you know what they mean. However, what they mean can be totally different to what they really mean. So just as an example, your customer might say something, well, the commercials aren't quite right. You go, oh, right, it must be something about pricing. Well, everything's the commercials. So unless you go down, I call it unpeeling the onion, an onion has sort of layers. Unless you go down underneath the initial surface, you're left with lots of assumptions, and ultimately that can end up with, with lots of problems.
Yeah, and of course our assumptions they may well be nothing like what it is that the other person is actually thinking. So that in mind, how do you get people to go further with those questions? What sort of techniques have you helped people with to help them go to that next level of unpeeling the onion?
Yeah, well, I think first stage is to realise and have that awareness that, oh, okay, I'm just taking that surface level and I don't really truly understand what people mean. And I think once people have got that awareness of it, and again, this is something you can practice socially as opposed to just in business. It's we tend to take things that, in that world of ambiguity. And I think an awareness of that first and foremost, and then you start to realize, right, okay, and think about it more like a conversation. And it's those simple questions to get deeper, like I said, unpeeling that onion to get to some of the deeper layers, which is where the real meaning starts. So it takes listening, i.e. to hear the thing in the first place. And then it takes some curiosity and courage to just take it to another level. And it's really very simple. It's those simple questions like, okay, what do you really mean by that? Or specifically, you mentioned, or what was the impact of that? You're taking it just down another level to really find out what people mean, what some of the consequences are, and what some of the impact on your customer. And if you think about the value of that, what it means is you're much more likely to truly understand, and therefore much more likely, to give a proposition that's fit for purpose because you've understood your customer much, much better. Think about it like competitive advantage. You know more, therefore you're more likely to give something of value.
That's really interesting, isn't it? Knowledge becomes very powerful in that respect. But what I'm hearing really clearly, Gareth, is it's not complicated. It's about simply probing and teasing out the next level of information through some very simple open questions. Great advice. Great advice. Thanks, Gareth.